Alright, hello everyone, MeanSpeed here with the first of many mod tutorials I'm going to be doing and showcases, because basically this interests me, and like I've said before, you know, there's so much you can do with modding in the tutorial about bfheroes. So yeah, as you can see, I'm on Buccaneer Bay in this video. This isn't a live commentary like the last one, but yeah, I'm going to go over this in steps basically. But yeah, there's 3 things in one video. This is going to be about changing your jump height, movement speed, and also how much health you have. So yeah, I mean, honestly, I think this is a pretty funny thing to do. You know, it makes vehicles quite redundant, since, you know, you can just move around at any speed you desire. It's really up to you, to be honest, what sort of speed you want, what value you want to give for your speed and stuff. So I mean, you know, although just know, even on lower values, it's pretty hard to control. So, you know, you're probably going to run into a lot of walls, bump into rocks and stuff. You know, it's a lot harder to show this off on smaller maps, so like Perilous Port, because you kind of need to rely on like long roads and open space to sort of run well with this without actually hitting stuff and slowing you down or just ruining it in a way. But I still hit stuff in this video because, you know, it is pretty hard to control. Yeah, I mean, it just depends on what you do, how much you want to add. But yeah, you know, it also looks weird because, you know, it's just unnatural, obviously, and it's the normal running animation too, but with a lot of flickering, I guess you call it. Now, the reason I'm showing you all these 3 in one video is because they do sort of complement each other in a way. So, you know, you can get to places high up quicker than other methods, like the standard rocket jumping, and also, like I said, you know, run to get to places far away without the need for a vehicle. And the reason health is a part of this is because when you run at a certain speed, you start to lose health, and in some cases, depending on your health, you die instantly. And the same applies to landing after a jump, obviously, without the parachute, which you don't really want to use anyway, because it's just like a slow process and you won't really get that nice, like, fun bounce effect from landing, you know, from such a height if you decided to use it. You know, so basically the parachute, I just go ahead and say don't bother with that. You're not really going to have some fun if you're just going to have to parachute all the time. And yeah, it's also worth mentioning that for whatever reason, you know, if for whatever reason, like I did in this video, you keep that out of bounds area, you know, obviously, like I said, it is possible to remove it. Adding more health actually helps with that, since when the timer's up, you just start losing health, and depending on how much you give to yourself, it can go down slowly or quite quickly. Whereas, you know, in the real game, well, I say in the real game, I mean by, like, for the default health values, what you're supposed to have, it was like instant death. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to just explore the map and like the outer bounds of the map really quickly. And like I said, you know, pretty amusing to me, and, you know, hopefully to you as well, or at least interesting. So before I start with this, I just want to make this clear. It's probably a good idea to make a backup or a copy of the game, of the files, before you try to mod, in case, you know, you want to revert back to how it was by default, and you know, just bring it back to normal at some point. Because I couldn't tell you what the default values are off the top of my head for some things. Well, most things really. In the files, so yeah, it's good to just to have a backup, just to be safe. Yeah, so basically now I'm going to go over the process of how to do this, and if this is still confusing to you, I'll put the instructions elsewhere as well, probably in the comments and the description. But basically, first of all, you need to go to the Heroes tutorial folder, which is what you downloaded after extracting the zip, basically. That's basically what it's called that you downloaded. Then go to Mods, Battlefield Heroes, Objects, and you need to open something called Soldiers Server with something like WinRAR, WinZip, whatever. And then the tweak file, well, sorry, no, yeah, the next step, it depends really on what hero you want to change. So in my case for the video, it's a National Gunner, so it'll be German Male Soldier, and then after that it's German Male Gunner. And like I said, tweak, it's a tweak file, so just find that. So find the appropriate one and then open it. Probably in something like Notepad, that's what I tend to do. And then you want to look for SoldierJumpFactor, SoldierSpeedFactor, SprintSpeed, WalkSpeed, and RunSpeed for the first 2 changes, which should all be pretty high up on the list. But obviously, you know, if you can't find stuff, use the find command Control F if you can't find them. And yeah, just change the numbers to something higher than the default. In my case, I believe I had most of it set to 10. So if you want to try and compare it from the video to what you might want to do, but you know, if you want to go even faster than me or jump higher than what you can see in the video, just try testing values, obviously. You can also change your swimming speed in case you ended up in the water after a failed jump or whatever. But just know that the swimming speed by default is just a lot slower, so you might want to make that a bit higher than the others. Now for your health, you need to find max hit points and armor hit points, which are a bit further down the list. So in this case, you know, definitely just use search, you know, find it, use the find command, just search for armor, or just, you know, type in arm will do, to be honest. And then just change both numbers of max hit points and hit points, which are next to each other. Make them both the same. I mean, in my case for the video, I had them set to something like, I think it was 150,000. And in some cases, when you get, you know, the number even higher, you start to show up in game as having like minus health. So, you know, a minus number, but that's still an increase in your health and not a loss of health or like instant death on spawning or whatever, just because it's a minus number. So don't worry too much about that. So yeah, after you've put in the numbers you want, after you've edited the file, all you need to do really is just save it, and you'll get a message normally asking if you want to update the archive, so just say yes to that. But sometimes you will be forced to save it elsewhere, so in that case just keep the same name of the file and just like drag it back into the window of the, you know, WinRAR, WinZip, and you're good to go. And then just simply restart the game on the right class and faction you changed, and just try it out and have fun with it. So yeah guys, that was basically the first modding showcase and tutorial of many, like I said at the start. So yeah, you know, I mean, if you have any modding suggestions or things you want to see, you know, make sure to let me know, and I'll see if it's, firstly, if it's possible, and secondly, if I can actually do it myself for a video. Yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed this, and hopefully, you know, you can try this out for yourself, and hopefully it makes the tutorial a bit more interesting for you. Yeah, so thanks for watching, see you next time.